All right, this is going to be my reaction to getting the new details, the more specific details about my ancestry DNA. I did an earlier video last year with my initial DNA results, and that's here. So I want to go through just real briefly before I go back in and check out what the new details are, because you're supposed to be getting the city in, like, let's say for Sicily, for example. So this could be really cool to see how accurate they get it. Now, I've gotten some reports from other people, and it seems to be right on the money. I don't know if it's going to get me on the. I don't know, but this is the old one where it was 46% Sicily, 23% Ireland, and only 16% Scotland, 7% Germanic Europe. I want to just go through why that's not a surprise, why, especially why southern Italy or Sicilia is not a surprise given my lineage, what I know. So we'll go to family search here, and this is going to have my great-grandparents. I'm just going to go through my 8 great-grandparents today. Okay, so I have Harry Sylvester MacDonald, and who is Irish and Scottish. The MacDonalds are supposed to be from Scotland originally, but the Rogers, we know, immigrated in about 1870 from Old English Ireland. I have Johannes Stein, who is from Hamburg, Germany, and he married Mary Frances Moriarty. How many Mary Franceses are there? So Mary Frances is from Newfoundland by way, but her grandparents or great-grandparents originally came from Ireland, and that's supposed to be County Kerry, from what I've been told, that the Moriarty family is from County Kerry. Don't know if that is true for my particular line, but that's something, hopefully, maybe that will be in the result. Now, my Siciliano Bignoni, Pietro Randazzo and Ninfa Pecoraro from Garini, Sicilia, which is in the Palermo province. It's right on the coast of the western end of Sicily. And then there is Francesco Gauguiano and Francesca Armetta. And this is where it's going to be a little different. They were the Armettas I've got back in, just like the Randazzos and the Pecoraros, just like Peter and Ninfa. I have those direct lines going back in Sicily, in Garini, Sicilia. I have them going back into the 1500s. I also have my great-grandmother Francesca Armetta's line, the Armetta line, direct going back to the 1580s or so. Also, that's not the case with Francesco Gauguiano. Now, the Gauguianos I've mentioned before, the Gauguianos came into Carini from Mistretta Messina, which is the eastern end of Sicily, about 1693, 1694. I've got a video coming about that. So what should happen here is I should not only have predominantly Carini, but I should have a part from Mistretta. But I also have here Peter's grandmother, Angela Galati. Now, Angela Galati was not from Carini. Angela Galati is actually from Giardinello, which is a really small area just south of Carini. But I also have Ninfa Pecораro's great-great-grandmother, which is Ninfa Noto, which is where the name came from, who was not from Carini also, but the family was from Pardinico, which, of course, is in the Palermo area. It's not that far. So I should expect to see that. We should have Carini, Giardinello, Pardinico, and maybe 1 or 2 from Terracini. So let's take a look, and we'll go into the ancestry.com, and we'll see what we have there. So this is what I have initially here. This is not the specifics. Right off the bat, I got 1% more of the southern of Sicilia, and I have quite a bit more. It seems to have flipped. The Irish and the Scottish seem to have flipped their percentages, and now I have, as part of northwestern Europe, England, which, of course, I do have Mayflower connections through my great-great-grandmother, Evelyn Mayo. Well, let's go in. Let's see the full results. Great news. All right. Let's take a look over here. Ethnicity breakdown, DNA story, DNA matches. We're going to do just the DNA breakdown today. So what it says here is, let's see, your ethnicity estimate may include 2 sorts of results. Southern Italy, 47%. And it says Palermo and Northern Sicilian Islands, West Palermo Province, which is where Carini is, and Palermo, And then it says Scotland 25. See, this is a big surprise here. Germanic Europe, 2%. That, to go back, Johann Stein was from Hamburg, Germany. So he is my great-grandfather. So I don't know why it's saying here that it's only 2%. That's a little bit on to me. I thought they were going to get a little bit more specific as far as the towns in Palermo, but they didn't. So, little kind of a disappointment there. I've spoken to people that they were actually getting Carini. Maybe I'm just not doing this right. And it's got Central Ireland listed, and that can make sense. Right. So your ethnicity estimate is 25% Scotland, but it can range from 0 to 30. Well, that's a pretty big range, but the Scottish doesn't make the Scottish makes perfect sense there. Not giving a particular region in Scotland, which is really unfortunate. I thought we were going to get that. Wales is now that is gonna. I'm gonna have to do some research there and see. Obviously, this is going to be on my paternal side, and it's going to be a connection through Evelyn Mayo. The Mayo family of Thomaston, Maine. But what's got me is 2% Germanic Europe. That, again, Johann Stein, I know it's the most common name, one of the most common names in Hamburg, Germany. 2%? But it does say, all right, your ethnicity estimate is 2%, but can range from 0 to 18%. So it may be a bit higher there. So it's a bit disappointing here. I expected that it was going to say, I'm going to have to contact some cousins and show them the video and show them the result, that it's not giving me a specific city in the Palermo area, which is really a little disappointing. It does point out that it does show that it is Palermo, which of course makes perfect sense. And we got Carini right there, the village di Carini. So it is giving that, but Palermo is a pretty big area, and it would have been nice. Maybe it's going to take a little bit more time for me to get where the DNA results are going to show that my Sicilian ancestry is primarily from Carini. I was expecting it to be, I would have liked it to have seen Carini, Giordano, Portanico, and then, of course, where the Mia Gaggiano familia hail from, Mistretta Messina. Maybe that's going to be with the next update. We'll see. I'm Mark. This is Epic Genealogy, and as always, thanks for watching.